In my previous videos, I presented undeniable evidence of life after death and explained where we go afterward. I also clarified what dreams truly are and revealed the tragic consequences faced by those who take their own lives even after death. Additionally, I shared several of the many NDE stories I have gathered over more than 20 years of researching the phenomenon of death and life beyond the material body. If you haven't watched them yet, I encourage you to click on my channel's name in the video tab, where you'll find all the content I've created so far. In this episode, I'll present another NDE story. It's the account of a woman who suddenly left her physical body and traveled into the past, embarking on an extraordinary journey through bygone eras. Let's begin.
I was 28 years old, single, and living in Texas with my 6-year-old daughter. I was extremely depressed, drinking heavily, and felt that my life had no direction or purpose. I had completely lost my way and forgotten an experience I had when I was 3 years old. At that time, a ball of white gold light came into my bedroom and communicated with me. Telepathically, it told me I had something to do toward the end of my life. I do not remember what it told me I had to do, but I do remember saying to the light, "That is beyond me, I can never do that." The light told me, "You'll grow into it." The presence in the light was sweet, soft, warm, loving, supremely intelligent, and totally good. So here I was at 28, a mile off track, the light experience forgotten, and my loftiest goal was to become thin and marry a man with money enough to solve all my problems. One day I came home from work, exhausted, and lay down on the bed. My mood was bleak, and I completely relaxed into a make-the-world-go-away frame of mind. I almost immediately fell into myself, imploded. I experienced a sense of speed like being on a toboggan, a whooshing sound, and fell rapidly through a tunnel of blue satin light. At the end of the tunnel was a clearing, and in its center a blue bag. The bag was organic and like the sack containing a baby, a birth sack. Its shape was organic and roughly pear-shaped, with an opening at the top. I floated to the top of the sack, and when I did, knowings began to spew out of the bag. By knowings, I mean a complete four-dimensional understanding of a concept or idea without it is coating of words. Have you ever heard something 100 times and then one day you knew what it meant? It is very difficult to describe my experience in words because it was pre-verbal. Anyway, the knowings were popping out of the top of the bag as thick and fast as popcorn popping out of a pan. I tried to grab some so I could take them back with me and put words on them so I could remember them. But they were too numerous and happening too fast to get hold of. I knew that what I had found was the sum total of all knowing or wisdom of all people for all time, past, present, and future. All wisdom comes from this pool of collective knowing, and all we learn goes into the pool for the use of everyone. I left the blue bag and immediately found myself high above the earth. I could look down and view the curvature of the earth, its colors, and the shape of its waters and continents. I was not only above space, though, I was also above time. I could see the movement of the people and ideas that had shaped and been shaped by history. At each period in history, I experienced the total feel of that period, including its music, architecture, styles of clothing, political thinking, and literature. It was like a vast march of people from different times with different worldviews working together, like removing the top of a gigantic piece of machinery and observing all the wheels, cogs and pulleys working together. On the surface we see none of this, but take off the top and we can see it. My vision took off the top. I knew that we are all connected with each other, like mountain climbers with ropes around their middles. When one of us falls, we pull the others down. When we climb up, we help others up. We are all in this together. I knew that what we observe as empty space between us is not empty. We are like marbles in a sheet of glass. You don't see the glass, you see the marbles. But the glass holds the marbles together. We are held together by an invisible substance that is around us and between us. It is invisible to us, but it is real. I saw that life on this planet was not random. There is a giant plan. The plan, however, is on a scale that is incompressible to us. Our minds are too finite to grasp it. I was shown a ball that was convoluted and contained all surfaces. For years after my experience, I looked for someone who could explain this to me. I would take a strip of paper and twist and attach the two ends together. "What is this?" I'd ask. Finally, years later, I met a physicist who told me it was a Mobius strip. I told him I had seen a solid round ball that was like this Mobius strip. The physicist said that would be a Mobius solid. "Pure mathematics has proven a Mobius solid can exist," he said. "But our three-dimensional minds could not envision one." I told him I had seen one. He just shook his head. During my experience, I was told that all time is now, and all space is here. I believe there was more to this middle part of my experience that will be revealed to me when the time is right. I moved from this vantage point back into that beautiful blue light. I came into the picture from the right, front, and slightly at an angle toward the center. Before me, there was a group of essences of people. If you refined a field of flowers to a single drop of perfume, that would be the essence of the flowers. These essences of people were like drops of water in a bucket of water. They were individual, but collective. They were grouped together in a triangle shape, like bowling pins are set up, with the apex of the triangle toward me. There was one essence that stood slightly in front of the others. I had the sense that this one spoke for the others, but was not in authority over them. As I came near them, I was immediately aware that this group knew me better than I would ever know myself, accepted me totally and loved me completely. The love that came out from them washed over me in waves, and was so pure and strong I could not bear it. I was one of them and always had been. They knew it, and I knew it. The one slightly in front communicated with my heart and mind, and told me I could not stay. I must go back. The presence felt masculine, although I did not identify it as any known spiritual figure. I begged him not to send me back. He told me very firmly that there was something I had to do, but that they would be there for me and I could come back to them when I had finished my work. I immediately popped back outside and rose from the bed, with a deep down anger that I was back here. For weeks, I was angry at having to come back. But then I set myself toward doing whatever it was I was supposed to do here. This experience changed my life, and I made many worthwhile changes in my life as a result of having had it. I let go of some bad behavior and commenced a dedicated spiritual search that has taken me into all sorts of rich and interesting places. I have had visions since 1973, telling me what was going to happen between the years of 1990 and 1999.
And here is yet another NDE story that provides us with a wealth of knowledge about life beyond the material body. Our protagonist suddenly left her body and experienced a spontaneous astral journey. The time travel through past eras she described must have been an incredible experience for her. In her account, she also emphasizes how much she did not want to return to her body. Once again, this shows the profound difference between existence in non-material realms and our current world, full of worries and suffering. Most people living here fear death and wish their earthly lives could last as long as possible. However, this stems solely from a lack of understanding about the reality that surrounds us. Therefore, if you'd like to gain this understanding, I warmly encourage you to check out my publication. In it, I've compiled all the knowledge about life after the death of the physical body that I've gathered over more than 20 years of research and personal experiences. You can find the link to it in the description below this video. That's all for today. Thank you for being here, and see you next time.